Abulu.
I was going to say, if the Kaduna governor came out to say only 300 billion was printed, and there is no denial of it, some of us are taking it as a fact, and you cannot withdraw 2 something trillion and then put in just 300 billion.
Do you know for every e-transaction, online transaction you do, payment is taxable.
Yes.
Government makes revenue.
Money, yes.
So some have said this is a smart way for government to make
tax
revenue. A government that is facing some heavy revenue shortfall. That if you do cash, government is not aware, and you do it amongst yourself, but once you go through the e-channel, they collect their own from source.
Yes, Amici, that takes me to, good morning once again, good morning my colleague, good morning dear listener. You made mention of e-Naira. For the benefit of understanding, the e-Naira is a digital currency platform that the CBN brought about. I'm sure what Amici is trying to say is the online transaction.
Yes, online transaction. The money on your bank you can you can use via your phone.
Yes, not the e-Naira. E-Naira is a different.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, good. So let me start from the access to the cash transfer you're talking about. I saw a video in UK where they gave a demonstration of how it goes round. That if you use cash, nobody sees a transaction, and if you do transfer, nobody sees the transaction. The CBN does not see the transaction, just the bank, and there's a particular time of the day that all the monies are moved. So CBN does not know who has done the transfer. But if you do e-transfer, the CBN sees your transfer and they can monitor the movement. I'm sure that is some of the what do you call it? What cashless policy is bringing on board. Amici, on the meeting between the president and the EFCC, ICPC, I've had some people quarrel, is it quarrel, I would say it, or they're making observation that why will you now invite only the PDP Governors Forum chairman and the APC Governors Forum chairman? What about the Labour Party Governors Forum chairman? What about the NNPP Governors Forum chairman?
No, you could have said
Abga. There's only Abga.
Yes.
We don't have.
Yes, but the president would have extended the meeting to also maybe the Interparty Advisory Council. Or
is at his discretion.
Yes,
he did not even. It's just for purposes of.
Clearly, if you see the persons in that meeting, it shows that this policy is tilted towards, whether I like it or not, taming some politicians from over excess use of cash during election. Because you have the ICPC there, you have the EFCC there, and you have the two main political parties, governors for chairman there. So, what are you trying to tell us? What about the ordinary man representative? Why is Labour not there at that meeting? If really we want to solve this problem and for the benefit of the ordinary man, it shows that this policy is targeted at some particular persons or particular situation, and the goal of the election. That is what this shows clearly to me, Amici, because if you are having a meeting streamlined, Governors Forum, PDP, APC Governors Forum, ICPC.
No, I don't understand what you mean here.
Yes, because people have said severally that this policy is targeted at some politicians.
Yes, if the Labour is sleeping and government deems them unnecessary, not consequential to be invited, who will you blame?
They are representative of workers.
They said yesterday that they are being pushed to the wall. If they had, see how El-Rufai went to television and made some threats. If Labour had also made some threats, perhaps the president will remember that there's a group known as Nigerian Labour Congress. Now, the president has forgotten that it exists. So it's to the extent you prove your relevance in the scheme of things.
There's a threat already by the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria. They've issued 7 days ultimatum, starting from yesterday, that the twin problem of fuel scarcity and shortage of Naira note must be addressed within 7 days. If not, they've started mobilization. Their state councils are mobilizing. And you know what that means. If you say you are adding strike to this hardship we are facing, Amici, the trading of words between the two major political parties does not end there. Families are trading words. Husbands and wives are trading words.
Protests in southwest part of the country. Some states, I think Abeokuta, Ibadan,
and Benin,
Akure, started in Benin over fuel and Naira scarcity.
I'm happy that especially the presidential candidates are speaking to their supporters, party men advising them to stay off the streets. Clearly, those demonstrations will not solve the problem. They will not solve the problem. They will not bring the money that you are fighting or looking for and all of that. And
but they may add pressure,
some pressure. Because we know that it was when the governors met with the president and all of that, that the president started saying, okay, give me 7 days. It was not when the protest started. So we know where the pressure is actually coming. But we need to moderate if we advise in that way and manner. Because whether we like it or not, there are some persons who are not comfortable with the way things are. And from what some political figures have also said, some persons can also create scenarios to allow people certain situations to happen so that they can take advantage of it. And as Nigerians, the fact that we said 17 days or so to the elections, we should not allow anything.
No, tell them come out in the open. You're speaking in parables.
It's clear.
No, some people are insinuating that because majority of the protests are in Southwest, there is the APC elements in the Southwest who are opposed to the scarcity of petroleum products and naira, which they say is a grand design to discourage. That's what some people are saying without evidence. So if you go to the social media, you see a lot of these
that's what I'm going to.
There's no evidence.
The social media I'm talking about. Who told you we don't have protests in the northern part of Nigeria? Who told you we don't have protests in the east? Is it because of the one you have seen?
No. In the last few days, tied to this. Have you seen any?
My worry in all this is that maybe where Tebe is tilting to, he will still come back. He will come and clarify to you what he was trying to, where he's going to. But my worry in all this, Amechi, is that I gave you a scenario of how frustrated I was trying to get my PVC. Have you realized that in this couple of days, nobody's talking about PVC collection extension period, nobody's talking about I know. Nobody's talking about the manifesto of the parties, nobody's talking about where are they going today. I don't even know where they are going. So people is it a calculated attempt to take people's mind after the election? So, Amechi, people are crying and wailing. People cannot feed. Husbands and wives are quarreling every morning because of this situation. A man that used to drop money for his wife, he said, I cannot access money. The wife does not believe. He said he's using this as a yardstick or as a defensive mechanism. Not
maybe I want to clarify some of what he said.
Yes, I mean, we have a situation on our hands. I want to believe that for those who have mentioned the issue of an interim government, for instance, they are not speaking from the blues. They know they would have had some information and that they are speaking about. And besides that, we've also seen how protests can be hijacked by some persons and they will turn into something else. You are talking about protests in the north and all of that. It will interest you to know that the governor of Borno State has been moving bank to bank. It will interest you to know that El-Rufai has been meeting with traders, and all of that, speaking to them, trying to calm nerves.
Governor of Borno State threatening to revoke the CFO of banks that failed to disburse.
How can you do that when you have only banks in only 3 local governments? You should not go with that threat. You should tell them to go
to. That's what it is.
But the banks know.
They should create more avenues for this disbursement.
It has forced the banks to put out the nose, and that was the intent of it. So in some parts of the country, we are seeing different actions being taken by the political leaders and all of that. So we cannot. I mean, I don't want to dismiss that. And for those who are saying this is tailored towards having an impact on the elections, postponing the elections, and all of that, we should not take these things for granted. That is the reason why some of us are advising that in as much as we are affected badly, in as much as, it has totally grounded down economy and all of that for a number of persons, we should not take it overboard in a way that it will give some persons the opportunity they are looking for to ensure that this election do not take place. When we can hold on, do the suffering. Maybe after February 25, March 11, we can now show them that, look, this country belongs to us and we'll take it back.
Tebe has changed, Amechi. I think he is now changing towards my direction, that we should allow the election he's no longer.
You have been on the same.
That the election might be postponed. He has been saying the election might.
Wait. Understand this? I've always said my position has been INEC should not overemphasize this issue of postponing elections and not postponing elections. Focus on giving Nigerians fair, free and credible elections.
And INEC
and
is
if
trying
that's what we should be talking about. Not
is a problem. Fuel is a problem. That's why it met with CBN yesterday with assurances. I don't know whether they have met with NNPC.
Even the road transport workers have come out to say with the fuel situation, they cannot even be available.
So there are roadblocks, there are impediments, and we must either scale them like you do in a 110 meters hurdle race, or we'll clear them off the road. Whatever it is, the dark clouds will appear to see them with this protest, with these extreme positions taken by the political leaders, with actions, some appear desperate, some legal like court cases. It tells you a lot is happening over the land. That may explain why the president that usually don't somehow do. Is there a scheduled meeting of the National Council?
It's an emergency.
Emergency. So when it's an emergency, it tells you that there's fire on the mountain and that the president, who have access to all the intelligence reports, deemed it necessary to convene that meeting, will just continue to support the government to continue to ensure peace, calm, and tranquility, and that the society is stable as we go into this election, and we even improve after. Let's go for your mess. When we come back, we'll stay more with elections 18 days away.
Good morning and welcome to the next segment.